Hey guys, it's me, Quinny, and I'm here with Zacharistic, and today we're going to be doing an Apex Legends Season 6 competitive tier list. We're basically going to be rating the legends from not just our experience and ranked with them, as you've seen like in ROM, Road to Masters with Zach, me, and Kaiser, but also I watch a ton of Scrim from, some of the top orgs and our GTSMs, and yeah, we believe these are going to be the top legends and the worst legends you should pick in competitive. So at D tier, we have Octane, and the reason why Octane's D tier is because there's really no place for him in competitive. His jump pad, it's very predictable, and he's not just like Wraith to where you can get in and out of places, or he's not good for rotations. He's just not the same. You can't bunker down with him. You can't even really play aggressive as him too, because he doesn't have a like Gibby. He doesn't have a Gibby bubble. He's not like Revenant. He's not like Bloodhound. So he's fun for pubs, but that's about it. Next is Mirage. Mirage is he's
A
good.
weird legend.
Yeah, he's a weird legend. He's good in pubs and lower tier ranked, but as you get into diamond pred lobbies, sometimes even plat, depending on the player, like if they're really good, and then tournaments and scrim, it's very easy to see which of the decoys is him, and he's countered by a lot of characters. He's countered by Bloodhound. When he scans, it shows which one is Jerome Mirage. Caustic, when his decoys take damage, they disappear. Same thing with, Bangalore, Gibby, Crypto. So he's just not very useful.
Okay, it's my time to shine now, boys. Get this amateur out of here. The real man's in right now. And also, if you're a bit confused, Quinny over here, he's the expert on Apex Legends. He watches a lot of Scrim and all that. Yeah, comp and stuff. So I just brought him in here because, because he's the expert. I don't really know that much stuff about it, but because he's also a good friend of mine. So it'd be a shame not to include him in the video. So in C tier, we have Rampart. Now Rampart, at the beginning of the season, was actually good. Surprise! Respawn can actually make a good legend. But unfortunately, even though she's really good in pubs, she is kind of in a weird place when it comes to competitive. Before I go on to her abilities per se, I think it's important that we talk about how she could have made an impact on the comp scene. So with her amped walls, it provides it does double it doesn't do double, it adds more damage to the weapon that you're firing through it. That could have been a game changer, but unfortunately the shields, they break so easily. So when you're in an aggressive fight, you can't just place down the shields automatically to protect your fire, because as soon as you place them down, a bullet's gonna go through and bam, it's gone. And with shield, it's a different story. The radius, the field of view is so restricted to where it's basically useless. You can't turn it around or anything, which is unbelievably just broken. And not to mention that it gets easily countered by Crypto's EMP, which he has had a drastic buff and a drastic shift in the meta right now. And her passive, there's nothing really wrong about it. It's just that it's with LMG, so it's really restrictive on how she uses weapons. And before, this would have been useless, but considering that the Devo's back in the loot pool for some absurd reason, it's not exactly that useless. But as long as the Devo is in the loot pool, the passive's always going to be useful. But once it's get taken out, yep, pull the plug. Yep, passive's useless. We got to give her a new one. Rework time, boys. So yeah, she's just not good. I mean, the shields, they get destroyed easily, considering that all of her abilities can get easily countered by the nades and the EMP. It's just really hard to just really play as her in a comp scene.
And not just that, but once you destroy her little fences, her Sheila, she doesn't have anything to protect herself. So I mean, you can easily get sniped with a headshot. So once her little fence things go down, you're basically screwed.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. So we're gonna go on to Loba now. So Loba, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. She is decent, at least. She's decent. Having a Loba on your team in comp scene isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, but her teleporter is not as good as Pathfinder's Grapple, but considering that Pathfinder got significantly nerfed, The teleport isn't exactly a bad thing, but the thing is that when you throw your ring, it takes so long for it to teleport, and you can't even run, you can't use guns, you can't even sprint at all.
Can't cancel it.
Yeah, you can't cancel it at all either, which is pretty stupid.
And while you're throwing it, you can't like shoot anything. You're just like a standing still dummy. So,
Yeah,
if
so you
you're
get
in the middle
lasered
of the
easily.
open, trying to get out of a sticky situation, you kind of just gotta fight your way through it. Otherwise, you're dead.
Yeah, otherwise you're screwed. So, like, and considering that the World's Edge bug or the King's Canyon bug where, like, you can't throw the ring, you can't teleport at all, that just ruins her case as a legend. Now, her ultimate, it's funny because, like, they call her the Master Thief when she's actually a pretty big amateur in it because you can only take 2 fucking items from the ultimate, which is so stupid because, how? 2 items is not enough. Like, at least give Loba, like, a bonus to where, like, she can take more, because, she's Loba. She can't be restricted by only 2 items, which is just, it's just bad. So, she's in a weird place. I do feel like if they buff her a little bit, she could be good, but right now she is sitting at C tier.
So for B tier, we have Pathfinder, and the reason why Pathfinder is at B tier is because ever since the Season 6 buffs on Bloodhound and Crypto, his abilities they're not completely useless because, some teams like Rogue or North, they're going back to Pathfinder, they're going to try him out again. But, in a lot of the cases, going a Bloodhound, you can play pretty aggressively, and going a Crypto's good because, you don't have to, like, go up to it. You don't have to get a respawn banner by just going up to it. You don't have to manually res. It's all instantaneous. So, he's just, like, he's a high risk, high reward type legend, but at the end of the day, I think playing a Crypto would probably be the better option, especially because a lot of Pathfinder mains on competitive, don't even really like him with, his massive hitbox, him being low profile, just
taking 2 decades to recharge his grapple. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold here.
And then also on B tier, we have Lifeline. The reason why Lifeline is on B tier is, she's really good, but she's not the same way a Gibby would work. She's not the same way, a Watson would work. You can't really play aggressive I don't know. She's just a complicated legend. I think if they added, I don't know. I feel like she's a legend made for ranked, and that's about it. Yeah, and then next is Bangalore. Bangalore's pretty good. I was watching some of the ALGS finals or qualifiers, and I saw a couple Bangalores in there. She's not a bad legend. I've heard people are gonna be going, or could be going, like Bangalore, Bloodhound, and Wraith, which isn't a bad idea, especially if you play pretty aggressive. But same thing with Lifeline. They're not the same as, a Revenant, Caustic, Bloodhound, Wraith, something like that. So, I'd say B tier is pretty good.
The problem is that, like, Bangalore, she's, like, the most perfectly balanced legend in Apex. But the problem with that is that, like, playing balanced legends isn't exactly as fun, but when it comes to comp, it's just not exactly as beneficial.
There's just other legends.
When
bring
you
more to the table.
Well, when you could be playing a legend that's super overpowered, like Wraith or Revenant or Crypto or Gibby, those type of legends are not exactly so balanced. So, okay, I'm gonna go on to A tier now. Unfortunately, I have to start with Revy Boy. Okay, what do I get? What do I start with, Revy Boy? Oh yeah, I forgot. He sucks. But, like, in my personal way, he doesn't suck. He's A tier. Like, he's just so annoying to go up against, but, like, unfortunately, I have to put him in A tier, because, like, his Death Totem is so good when you want to just push somebody, like, just get some free kills. Like, ranked in Season 5 was completely butchered by him, but, like, and, look, I may be a bit biased on Revenant, because I hate him so much. And, like, I hate playing him, too. But, like, I just gotta agree. Like, Revenant is
Revenant, Crypto, and Wraith. High risk, high reward. If you watch any scrimmer tournaments and you watch TSM, yeah, you're gonna see the true power of Revenant. He's just... Yeah.
And not to mention that Respawn didn't do anything to nerf Revenant this season. All they did was make it to where, like, after you come out of Shadow form, you can't go through Rave Support for 2 seconds. 2 seconds? Anybody can wait 2 seconds. Literally anybody can wait 2 seconds, my guy. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna calm down a bit here. I've been taking anger management classes as you can see. So I'm gonna let Quinny take him for a Bloodhound right now. So.
All right, so Bloodhound he got a massive buff in season 6. You pop his ultimate, and depending on where the ultimate is at, you can scan in between 5 to 15 seconds. Like that's just you have constant info of where the enemies are. He's super good for aggressive play, and now that he can scan, survey beacons, it's pretty good too, because not just can you play super aggressive, it's like where to specifically play super aggressive, so you're also prepared for endgame at this point. And not just that, but every knockdown you get while you're in Beast of the Hunt mode is an extra 5 seconds. That's just 5 seconds of constant more info. And playing Bloodhound, like he's different from Crypto, because Crypto, you have to manually do everything, but Bloodhound, it's like you scan once and you can find 3 different rats in last zone. But, personally, I kind of think Crypto is probably going to bring more to the table than Bloodhound, but after these latest buffs, depending on how you play, Bloodhound will probably be the way to go.
It's mostly because of the ultimate, because, like, Bloodhound, his ultimate is pretty much useless. Besides the scan...
It's good for chasing down, rats.
But besides the scan, it makes so much noise to where, he just cannot sneak up on anybody, because people can hear him, screaming from, a mile away. So it's his ultimate, it really just, detriments your position on a team. But overall, that shouldn't, but it does have its perks, and it can make you run faster. You're able to see enemies from, a mile away. But it's just a noise. It, really ruins trying to do stealthy stuff with your team. But that shouldn't let Bloodhound, get demoted down to, something like B tier, or heaven forbid, C tier. So, for Caustic, I mained Caustic for a little bit in Season 5, so I can honestly say that he is a good legend. He is. I do feel like the buff that they made it to where, their teammates can run through the gas is a bit overpowered, but considering that Caustic was already in a weird place after the buff, and they want to give him more love, I don't really recommend to revert the change, because it's just.
I'd say the only change they need to do is when you're going up against an enemy Caustic, when he throwdowns his ultimate or his trap goes off, it needs to be like Watson, to where it says whether this is your gas or not. So
yeah, exactly.
That's really the only thing they need to do to
him.
It's like if they nerf him too much, he's useless. If they buff him too much, everyone's gonna hate competitive, and a lot of people.
And didn't you say that Caustic is not really gonna be a part of the comp scene because Caustics are immune to other Caustics gas and stuff?
The thing is that running too many Caustics, running Caustic, it's not bad, but having everyone run Caustic, it's not worth it. You don't know whose gas is whose. You're basically just, at that point, you just have to be good in your one-on-ones. And it's not even really, all you do is just throw your ultimate in end zone. Where's the skill in that? It's just... He's a legend you can't nerf, but you can't buff. And then the moment he comes into the meta, he gets out of the meta because he counters himself.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, now we're going to move on to S tier. Now, we're going to make this short and sweet. So I'm going to let Quinny do Rafe and Watson, and I'll do Gibby and Crypto, because I main those two, so I have a lot of chemistry with them. Take it away.
So Rafe is very good because she's an aggressive legend that can get in and out of places instantly. Not instantly like how she used to be, but she's still a pretty aggressive legend. You should use her because you can get, not just can you get in and out of places, but you can get out of sticky situations, and she's very good for endgame. If you have an endgame to where it comes to a heal off, portal hopping and queuing it's very, very good. If unless you have a Revenant, you can't beat a Wraith and a heal off. You surely can't with a Q, with portal hopping. Yeah, you've basically lost at that point. You also know whether people are watching you or not. So let's just say maybe a rat is staring at you. Having that Wraith Q is very helpful. Next is Watson. Watson will probably always be meta just because she's good for locking down areas. And, personally, as much as I hate trying to break into a building or, watching a team try to break into a building against a Watson team, you remove her and, in a way, like, the skill gap is just, like, I don't know. You just have a lot more brain dead plays because everyone's just playing super aggressive at that point. I feel like Watson is the character kind of to break things up and add a little bit more passive play, which is good.
Yeah.
She's also good for, locking down areas. She counters Caustic, and she can carry multiple ultimate accelerants. And all you need is one ult excel for you to get her ultimate. So you're really saving a lot on ult excels, but you're also saving a lot on shields, which is very good because, constantly peeking as a Wraith with only 6 shield cells, you're not going to get anywhere. You need constant aggression if you're going to do that. Whereas going someone like Watson, she helps you a lot. And, I'm bringing up TSM again because, they are the 5-time champion, but really watch them when they're playing Watson, and you're going to realize why she's so beneficial.
Yeah, and to chime in here also, it could be pretty debatable to put... Well, it's not impossible to put Watson in A tier because considering that Crypto's EMP, it can now take out Watson's pylons. Crypto's is a very, very good counter against Watson, so Watson could definitely be demoted to A tier, but nothing below that. So now I'm gonna go on to Gibby. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Gibby, I kind of feel like he's been getting a lot of unconditional love. Now, I know Gibby was completely useless in Season 1, and I think also Season 2.
Season 1, 2, and 0. It was Season 3 where you had, like, an 18... I think it's always been 18 seconds on the dome, but, adding a 100 health on the arm shield, that's... Yeah, plus imagine if they kept that with red Evo shields, 325 health, plus, Fortified where you take, incoming damage is reduced by 15%. That's very, that's very, very overpowered.
So he's just been getting a lot of unconditional love and I enjoyed playing him, but, he's really only good in ranked, really. I mean, you can't really enjoy him in pubs, but that's just my personal preference. I do feel like they should get rid of the fast revive in his dome, because, that's kind of Lifeline's signature ability, and he's kind of taking that away. I've been hearing a lot of people just call Lifeline a discount Gibby, which is,
kind of true.
Yep, kind of true, but... kind of offensive also. How dare you say that about Lifeline, QUINY? Okay, so that's basically Gibby. He's just getting a lot of unconditional love. My really only play is the fast revive. Just get rid of that, and then he'd truly be pretty balanced. And he'd still be S tier. I guarantee you, because his dome is very versatile.
I think, personally, in my opinion, I kind of think Gibby's, fine as he is. Because, remember, in Season 6, he got a massive nerf. I'm pretty sure his ultimate was, a minute and a half, and now it's like 4.5 minutes or 3.5, something like that. But it got increased by a minute to 2, and that's big. That's really big.
That's a really big nerf.
Honestly, we're probably gonna be seeing, I don't think less Gibbies, but I think a lot more Gibbies that are gonna be careful because if you're trying to take an isolated fight back, then you could just throw your ultimate and it would kind of delay the other team, or you could just throw it here, 20 seconds later, pop an ultimate accelerant, and you're back in the fight. So I think it's going to be a lot more safer play with Gibby. Okay.
So, and finally, we're going to have Crypto. So, Crypto is, he's my main. So, I might be a little bit biased here, but I honestly do feel like Crypto is S tier. Now, in my last tier list, I put him at A tier. But now that he's gotten the buff where he can scan Surrey beacons, it just solidified himself in the comp scene, especially considering that Pathfinder is pretty much street garbage now with that passive of his, but just his passive. I mean, it's just Neuralink. You can when you get out of a drone, your drone still scans and stuff like that. But it really is good when you're just like hiding your drone somewhere in a building, so you can just scan people when they come inside, so you know exactly where to aim. And his drone exactly is still really good because like it's I see it as like a one up against Bloodhound's scan, because you can have it infinitely in the air as long as you don't get it shot down. And if you're a good crypto, then you will never get it shot down. Unlike me, because I'm kind of an amateur crypto, but I'm improving on that. The survey beacon, like, I kind of feel like it's a bit overpowered how like he can scan survey beacons and respawn your teammates instantly. I kind of feel like it's a bit broken, but I don't work at Respawn, so how would I know? And his EMP, as always, is really overpowered. It's really good for countering people like Rampart,
Gibby.
Gibby.
Even if... Okay,
and Caustic and Watson.
Here's the thing with Gibby. With Crypto. You ultimate, and let's say you're going up against a Gibby team. And that Gibby has already thrown the dome, and you EMP. Once you EMP, it might look like the Gibby ultimate is still... the Gibby dome is still there, but it's not. It's there, but it's not. You can still shoot through it. So, don't be scared to get aggressive, because, at that point, that team that went up to go push you, they really have no cover now. So, that's just part of going Gibby. Caustic counters... Crypto counters Gibby, he counters Watson, he counters Caustic, even Revenant, because, he can slow them down. And if they're running out in the open, that's really... Yeah, that's not very good.
Yeah, not very good. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, the Season 6 tier list for my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this little, just new thing that I'm trying to do. On the channel, I'm trying to do some more original content. It was a lot of fun to make this video with my friend QUINY over here. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.